fellow miners, and welcome back. Today, we are going to do an experiment for the sake of science. If you've been around the channel for a while, ever since MH3 was printed, I have hated on Psychic Frog since it was revealed. It's a cool card design-wise, but it is way too much for way too little. I have been complaining about this card ever since it was printed, and hopefully, with it potentially being banned in a week, but we all know how that goes, I decided to truly see how busted this card is and finally play it. So today we are playing DDFT Doomsday Frog Tamiyo. So this is a pretty traditional blue-black Doomsday shell with a secondary tempo plan revolving around Tamiyo Inquisitive Student and Psychic Frog to basically just outvalue your opponent. It is not as fast and as sleek as a true full-on Doomsday deck, but it has resilience in a main board backup plan if the combo isn't going to happen. So yeah, we are going to play with the frog so that I can finally say not only is this a pain in the ass to play against, but it is stupid and busted to play with and 100% deserves to be banned. And fingers crossed, this card will no longer be in our format in about a week. But as we all know, WotC does what WotC does, and there's probably a 50-50 shot whether or not this card's actually going to get a ban or not. But anyways, not really a lot to say about the main deck. The sideboard is going fully in on the tempo plan, and you can pretty much just board out the entire Doomsday combo and bring in more threats in the form of Murktide Regents and Barrowglyphs. You can also bring an opposition agent for more power and also to be able to hate on your opponent's fetch lands. It's also really good up against the Cradle Control style decks, and it's actually really good up against Storm and opposing Doomsday decks as well by being able to take over your opponent's searches and not let them get the cards that you get. Like, the funny part is if you flash this in up against the opposing Doomsday, you just take all 5 of their cards and they have no deck anymore, and it's absolutely hilarious. So we'll see if that actually ends up popping up or not. There's also some removal in the form of Go for the Throat to take care of problematic creatures, Surgical Extraction to be able to get rid of an opponent's key combo piece, or if you discard or counter a key piece of hate, you can surgical it and get them all out. Consign to Memory for all of the colorless decks running around between Eldrazi and Mystic Forge. It can also, again, shut down opposing Doomsday decks by being able to counter a Thassa's Oracle trigger. Brazen Borrower to remove any kind of problematic permanent that's stopping you from doing what you want to do or to prevent you from dying to something. And then Grafdigger's Cage also to be able to shut down the Natural Order decks, the Green Sun Zenith decks, Reanimator style strategies, stuff like that, just to hit on the graveyard in the library. It also does work up against Mystic Forge decks a bit, and the fact that they can't actually cast the cards from the Mystic Forge. It doesn't stop their selection, and it doesn't stop them from comboing with what's on the field, but it at least shuts down them being able to just churn through their library if all they have is a Mystic Forge instead of the Paradox Engine, One Ring combo kind of stuff anyway. So let's take this through a league, see if this little amphibian is as crazy to play with as it is annoying to play against, and really see if this card deserves a ban. I'll catch you all in the wrap-up. All right, we are bringing the Doom today. We won the die roll, round 1. Let's go. Let's see if we can show why this stupid little frog here needs to get banned. I mean, this sets us up pretty good to be able to Doomsday if we find it. We have ways to find it. We got protection, we got interaction, and we're going to go all in on the stupid little frog and see how it does. I mean, we can actually turn one frog with counter backup and see how stupid this little thing is. So, figured I would finally play the frog, hopefully right before it gets banned. I've complained enough being on the other side of this. Let's see if it's as broken as it seems when you're actually playing it. Opponent kept on 7. I mean, we're gonna Turbo Frog, baby. Cast this Lotus Petal. And we are going to Frog. I will say, like, as much as I hate this as a card, I have a soft spot for Psychic Frog because I got a soft spot for Poison Dart Frogs. I actually used to work with them in my first, like, job out of college. I worked as a swing keeper at a aquarium in the state I was in. And I actually got to work with Poison Dart Frogs. They're super adorable, but I have to say, we're already up against Eldrazi. God damn it. Okay. Well, this is where the fun ends already. I don't think a little froggy boy can get past the Eldrazi boys. And this is a Chalice, which unfortunately I have to counter this because I need the acceleration from Dark Ritual and I need my selection from Ponder. A little annoying, but we'll see. But as I was saying, I actually got to work with Dart Frogs, and force feeding them dewormers is one of the most intricately insane things I've ever done in my life. And if it wasn't so goddamn dry where I live, honestly, I probably would keep a tank of them. They're just cute little shits. Okay, let's see what we draw here. Doomsday? Just give me the Doomsday. No, Cavernous Souls. Okay. Well, we will play this. We will Poonder. We'll start out with the Poonder. Do we want to go all in on 2 frogs? do we trust the frog? Honestly, I think we might. Like, I think we want to put Frog, Misty, Petal. Don't shuffle. We will get in with the Froggy Boy. I'm actually kind of tempted to chuck this Cavern of Souls. Do I want to chuck the Cavern? No, I think I want to keep the Cavern for now. I was thinking about chucking it just for some extra damage here. But what my logic is here is, like, we will get the Lotus Petal. I mean, I guess technically we drew the Lotus Petal anyways. But now we are going to draw Misty, so that gives us a land for next turn. We are going to cast the Petal so that I can Revolt a Fatal Push to kill something next turn. I probably could have gone away with chucking the Cavern of Souls, if we're completely honest here, but I don't know, we'll see. Like, our hope is that they just run out like a Flush Raker or something. 5 potential mana? Like, if they just run out of Flush Raker, we'll kill it. If it's a Thought-Knot Seer, we'll probably just kill that too. Unfortunately, the Seer we have to do in response. Okay, actually, this isn't terrible. Unfortunately, it means we're gonna have to chuck the second frog because we're about to draw it. So with that on the stack, we have to pop that. Fatal Push the Thought-Knot Seer, which unfortunately puts the draw over the discard. And then we just chuck both spells to Frog. And then our next draw is just blank at this point. Like, it's an unknown. And they don't get anything out of us here. And they just wasted a Thought-Knot Seer. And our graveyard is pretty thick for jumping this Frog now. We do have a fetch land, so we can go ahead and go grab a Surveil land if we don't just draw it here. Oh, we just draw another land. I think I am going to go ahead and chuck this Cavern of Souls here. Like, this honestly does kind of suck real hard if they have a Kozilek's command somewhere. But I'm going to push damage here. I actually can select this draw here by going and grabbing the Surveil land now. So then, if it's just like another fucking land, I don't think we are in a Thassa's Oracle game plan at the moment, so we can probably get rid of one of them. Into another Frog. Okay, that's not bad. I like having a backup here if we need it, so like next turn we'll just play another Frog. It's gonna suck if they kill this one, because then we're just gonna have like this tiny little fucking 1-2 Frog that we can't do anything with, but we'll see what happens. If they just obliterate our lands with a Sowing Micro Spawn, that would kind of suck, but it's not the end of the world. If that heralds the end, okay, that's fine. They still have the mana to be able to kick a Micro Spawn, though. Because if they kick a Micro Spawn, then we just lose both. Which it looks like that might be what they're doing. What the fuck balls? Sire of 7 Deaths? Why does this have reach? What? Why? Why does it have all these words? Reach, trample. What the fucking shit is this? How am I supposed to beat that? I don't think I'm supposed to. Oh, sure, now there's the fucking days. I mean, granted, they're kind of at a point where they kind of have to keep this thing back on... Wait, does it have vigilance? Oh my fuck, it has vigilance too? Well, shit. Okay, that kind of sucks a lot, actually. Holy crap. I mean, it's cool seeing a new Foundations card, but this fucking thing's gonna solo us on its own. It has so many words. We'll probably give this, like, 1 draw. Like, there's... Actually, I don't even think we can get out of this now. I mean, I suppose there might be, like... If I draw exactly Doomsday, I can get through with one of the frogs. to start the pile and possibly win, but I am asking for a lot here. Well, like I said, kind of cool seeing whatchamacallit. Oh, it's a Myco spawn. Yeah, we're just dead. Holy shit, that. Okay, Sire 7 deaths. Good to know it's something we need to be concerned about. Alright, well this is already starting off great. Can confirm the geometry beasts are better than whatchamacallit? The frog. Okay, so we're gonna bring in Consign to Memory and Brazen Borrower. There's something to be said about taking out the Fatal Pushes, but a lot of their key Eldrazi are 4-drop, so we theoretically still can. We didn't see Cavern of Souls, but I'm assuming they have it, which kind of means a lot of this stuff is kind of meh. I think we might just get rid of the Dazes here. Try something like that. Alright, so I just need, like, super fast Doomsday. This is not that. We gotta ship this. This is a super fast Doomsday. I guess we're going to keep this and hope for the best. Let's just put Underground Sea back for now. We have a turn 2... Well, actually, we have a turn 1 Doomsday, which is nice. So I think we're just going to do the thing and hope that it's enough. I'm not sure what they could do. Like, if they wasteland us, it sucks, but we still got another land. It just means we need to make sure that we keep a land in the deck. Yeah, okay. Whoops, wrong color. Alright, so I need land, Thassa's Oracle, and then just grab 3 cyclers, basically, and call it a day. And where the fuck is the Edge of Autumn? This is so slow selecting cards. Yeah, because what we will do is we can play Polluted Delta. We're going to draw the Cyclers, get the Cyclers, get Thoracle in hand, and then fetch out the land. So we basically want land on bottom, then Thoracle. So land, Thoracle, Edge of Autumn, Street Wraith, Street Wraith. Alright, let's see if they can stop us. See if a turn 1 Doomsday is enough. Like, this gets through a wasteland. Yep, it gets through a wasteland. That's specifically why we did this. And I don't think there's anything they can do to stop us here. Alright, so we're going to draw the Street Wraith. Play a Delta. Cycle the Wraith. Cycle the Wraith. Go fetch out the Underground Sea. Grab Underground Sea. Blue. Blue. Cycle this. Sacrifice our land. Draw the Thoracle, play the Thoracle, and win? Okay, cool. We just need a repeat of that. Okay. And I think we just run it back. So we can Turbo Frog. I have a funny feeling they're probably going to look for a Chalice on 1, but they're keeping on 7, so maybe they're not. We also actually have a turn 1 Flip Tameo as well. Against my better judgment, I think I'm going to keep this. Okay, let's see how bad this is. I don't like not having a Force of Will to stop a Chalice on 1, but... Okay, no Chalice on 1 yet. That's good. I like Doomsday. So I think what we're going to do here... I think we're going to do the thing with Tameo and try to make that a distraction. We are going to get a basic island so that they can't... whatchamacallit us. Wasteland us. And since I don't have protection anyways, I'm not going to try to high roll to do a turn 2 Doomsday. Well, now I've got protection. Let's hide Doomsday, hide push. We have double force, double blue card. Worst case scenario, next turn, we can go ahead and drop the frog and still have a interaction while we try to find our way to more black mana for this Doomsday. We also could be in a position where if we can protect this frog long enough, we can just kill him with the frog. There is also something to be said about possibly just, like, down-ticking Tameo. 3 mana. Chalice on 1? Yeah, that's fine. We are not on 1-drops right now to do anything. We might be in a position where we can do the stupid thing with frog and just draw half of our deck with it. And we have Force of Will backup. We know our next card's a Doomsday, so that's an easy chuck to Frog. We can protect the Frog this turn. We just need to keep this thing alive for 2 more turns. Like, the worst thing that could happen out of this at this point would be if they try to drop a Bauble into something else. But we haven't seen Bobble yet, so I don't know if that's something we actually need to keep on our radar. All right, they're doing something here. If this is just... Do I even care about this? I mean, I do because I need to keep the Tamiyo alive. But if I let them take something, I can chuck a bunch of cards to Frog, but I need to... No. We're gonna do this. I need to keep the Tamiyo alive. So now we know there's gonna be a Doomsday, which, as I said, is a free chuck to the Frog. And then they shouldn't have anything with haste. They haven't seen anything with haste yet. Like, a K command not hitting a blue card off of this is kinda problematic. So what we really want here is we want a blue card off of this Frog draw. Blue card? Dark Ritual. Okay. Well, we basically just gotta fade a removal spell for either the Frog or the Tamiyo this turn, which I know is a tall order. But, like, if they just Myco spawn us, that's fine. We don't really need our lands anymore. We can fight through that Sire of Seven Deaths thingamabobber. Okay, yeah, we can fight through a Myco spawn. That's fine. Like, we don't care about that whatsoever. I'm not sure what one land they can get. Because even if they get something... Alright, and they scoop it up. They see that they're dead. Okay, can confirm the little Froggo is busted. On to the next one. Alright, round 2, won the die roll. I like it. Let's cook. That is right, let's cook. This is unkeepable. I gotta ship this. So this is interesting. It's a Tamiyo with Daze backup, but we need another land pretty badly. Depending on what our opponent's doing, this... I mean, if we hit another land, this hand is pretty insane, so I think we're going to go ahead and keep it and trust in the deck. We have a decent amount of mana sources. Alright, opponent kept 7. We're going to bin the Thoracle. There's also something to be said about maybe just leaving up the Misty and grabbing a Surveil land. That's honestly probably the best bet. Like, it'd be nice to slam Tamiyo, but this allows us to grab the Surveil land and hopefully find another land on top. Because if we can Frog first, that would be even better. Another Ancient Tomb deck. Okay, this is going to be a fun league. I know that I myself am an Ancient Tomb gamer as well in the real world. And with Mystic Forge combo just destroying Eternal Weekend, you're going to see a shitload of this style of stuff. The question is just what flavor of Ancient Tomb are they on? Is it Eldrazi or is it Forge combo? Just show me a land. Thoughtseize. I do not want that at the moment. I need a land desperately. Brainstorm. Do we trust in the Tamiyo to get us there if we just play Tamiyo, Brainstorm, flip it next turn? I think we're going to give it a shot, see how this goes. Hopefully we don't get wastelanded. We may be paying the price for keeping a one-lander. This also telegraphs very hard, like, if they have a wasteland, fucking take my land out. Step through. Normally that's in Breakfast combo. I've never seen Breakfast with a Spellseeker. Okay, so this is some kind of blue stompy deck. Okay. I can get with that. Because Spellseeker is just look. I want to say these are typically like Show and Tell Omniscient style decks. I think we will go ahead and Daze here if we get the opportunity. Being a stompy deck, we're not going to have a lot of opportunity to connect with Daze. Like I said, we definitely are going to go ahead and do this. Against a stompy deck, there's not going to be a lot of times where a Daze is effective. Alright, so managed to get them to spend their Step Through and the Spellseeker. This is kind of shitty. This is a tapped land. Oh, okay, cool. I like that. Actually, do we want to do the Undercity Sewers first? No, I think we need to play it safe. Like, there's something to be said about setting this up to be able to flip this Tamiyo next turn instead and have Frog at the ready, but I want to start taking Tamiyo up as quickly as possible here, and I need some kind of protection. Like, this hand is not doing it right now. Because I don't know what's going on over there, and they're going to have a ton of mana. Another Tamiyo, a Street Wraith. Let's put back Edge of Autumn. I think we'll put back Edge of Autumn Doomsday for now. We're hitting our lands finally, which is nice. And we hit a fetch land to be able to shuffle away that other land. It's just going to be a matter of do they have what they need to be able to combo and punish us here, or are they going to be spending a while setting up looking for it, and they desperately needed that Spellseeker? I guess we are going to find out. We can take up Tamiyo, and then I guess we're just going to go ahead and play Frog. We can emergency cycle the Street Wraith if we need to. This also sets us up to be able to try to go for Doomsday next turn if we feel that is what needs to happen. This also might be scary enough that they're willing to counter it. They're impulsing. So yeah, this is definitely some kind of Omni show deck. Like I said, this is scary enough they might force a will it. But not yet, okay. I guess we're going to see if we're just going to die. See if what they found off of that impulse was worth a shit. Paying 2 mana to do something. We can emergency cycle Street Wraith to try to hit a Force of Will if we think we need to do that. Oh, it's Paradigm Shift. Okay. So we need to worry about a Thassa's Oracle? Okay. Is there anything we need to worry about here? Like, do we need to try and emergency cycle the Street Wraith? So, all cards from your library, shuffle in. I don't think it does anything at this point, so we might as well just do this. Like, let it happen. Because they don't have any way to actually cast a Thassa's Oracle yet. Unless they just, like, randomly have, whatchamacallit, Lotus Petal. And they must have Thassa's Oracle in hand already. And we do have quite a few draws. Okay, so there's a Daze, but that's probably not going to do anything. We do have quite a few draws to try to get to a Force of Will. Like, there's something to be said about starting with Undercity Sewers to set up our draw. But if we just hit a untap land, we can Doomsday, set up our pile. But I don't think there's a way that we can get our pile going. So I think we do want to set up our draw from Frog first. We definitely do not want to swamp. Let's get in. They've got 1 turn to get out of this. And I have 2 draws to try to find a way out. I would love a Force of Will off of this draw or the next one. Or like a Thoughtseize or something. Thoughtseize, Force of Will, Cavernous Souls. We are going to go ahead and cycle here. Okay, there's Force of Will. We do have 1 more draw if we absolutely need it. So I guess we just pass the turn and see what happens. See how much protection they have for this Thassa's Oracle. Because what is this? Exile all cards from your library, then shuffle your graveyard into your library. So we knew what their library was, so it's just their graveyard was, and it was nothing particularly relevant. It was a Step Through, a Spellseeker, and I think the Paradigm Shift. No, there was one other thing. I forgot what it was. But what else do they have in here? Thassa's Oracle. Okay, they do have Lotus Petals, Force of Will, Thought Lash, Flusterstorm Main. Okay. I see 3 Force of Wills, which means there's probably 1 in hand. See if this works. I think they have a Force of Will in hand. They do. Okay. Crack this. Hit another Force, please. Force of Will? Ponder. No. Okay. They got it. We were 1 turn too short, but now we know what they're doing. I like it. I was a little worried we were going to be up against another traditional whatchamacallit style deck, but I think what we're going to do is let's bring in the Consigned Memories for sure. There's something to be said about Opposition Agent to be able to shut down some of their search spells. Surgical doesn't seem terrible. If we can counter or discard a key piece, we can just Surgical it, and then they should just be done. We could also grab like more removal to try to kill a Thassa's Oracle if they have a small pile again, and don't go for 0. Being how they are, I don't think Daze is going to see much purchase here. So I think those are pretty easy cut. Yeah, let's just try something like that. Alright, let's see what we can do against Thought Lash combo here. This is turn 1 Tamiyo, flip, or it's a turn 1 frog. I think we're going to keep this. I think we're going to go ahead and turn 1 Tamiyo flip, because that sets us up to be able to play frog the following turn and hopefully find some counter magic. Assuming this doesn't just get Force of Will right off the bat. Alright, opponent kept on 6. I mean, we're just going to do the thing. Grab the Underground Sea, play the Tamiyo, and flip it on turn 1. Assuming they don't just Force of Will this. No? Ooh, and we hit a Force of Will. Okay, I like that. Oh, we actually kind of got the Nutter Butters here. Let's put back Street Wraith Doomsday, draw Doomsday next turn. And then we actually can go ahead and just try to hit Doomsday. And we actually, like, have a Cycler as well to be able to... Well, I mean, we're gonna end up... We'll see. I was gonna say we could start the pile, but we actually can't. We also still need more mana. But it does give us a chance to start moving toward it. Luckily, Thought Lash is a relatively slow combo. But they can speed it up with Lotus Petals and such. I didn't see any land destruction, so I don't think we have to worry about the pile being too crazy. I think what we want to do is set up a pile so that it is Cavern of Souls, 3 Cyclers, and Thassa's Oracle. I think is what we want to do. Ugh, it's fucking glitter all over the house right now. Erica bought a new outside decoration for Christmas. And it's like this, like, it's actually really nice looking. It's this white and gold lamppost thing that's all lit up with LEDs in it and shit. But I didn't realize it was glitter. And when I opened the box, it was like a fucking glitter bomb. Like, it was just glitter everywhere. Like, all the pets are covered in it. We tried vacuuming up as much as we could, but, like, it's glitter. It never goes away. It's the herpes of the craft world. And, like, it's fucking all over the house now. Alright, opponent bottomed both. I like that. And then, if this Doomsday doesn't work out, I'm not sure if I want to fight over the Doomsday or not. I don't think I do. We can work toward the Frog win instead and hold up our Force of Will to stop our opponent. And if they force this, it's 2 cards out of their hand. We could see a Flusterstorm here. Okay, well, we want Cavern of Souls, Thassa's Oracle, Cycler, Cycler, Cycler? And actually, the fact that we have a Thassa's Oracle in hand already... I actually don't hate this, because what we can actually do is do Thoracle Cavern of Souls, the 3 Cyclers on top. Try to Thoracle with 1 card in deck still. If that doesn't work, try to Thoracle the following turn. So I actually like that a lot. So I think that's what we're going to do, since we already have a Thassa's Oracle in hand. Oh, whoops. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. And if we have to Force of Will, then we're just like 1 turn shorter is all. Done. And what we can do is expand this, put Thoracle on the bottom, Cavern of Souls, Street Wraith, Edge of Autumn. And they chose not to try to force that, so I like that quite a bit. Shit. Okay. So we might not actually go ahead and do that last Cycler now that I think about it. Because then we literally just can't win if it works. Cavern of Souls on Wizard. Okay. What wizard are they casting here? Okay. I mean, that's fine adjacent. We might actually just play this a little bit slower than I planned. And not use that last whatchamacallit. Because they're not really presenting us with anything we need to worry about yet. And then next turn, we'll try going for it. I actually stacked that wrong. I needed to put the Street Race on top. So we're going to see. We might pay for this, not just like YOLOing it and going for it. But we'll see where this goes. Like, if they just... What is it? Thought Lash? Is Thought Lash 2 mana? I don't remember how much Thought Lash is. Okay, so they're gonna go after Tamiyo. That's fine. We could actually also just draw half of our deck with Tamiyo and just go for it. Because that will draw Street... Is this rounded up or rounded down? Draw half of your deck. Rounded up. Okay. So that'll draw 2 cards, which will be Yeah, we should just be able to. Well, I'm trying to think if there's anything that they could do. I think we'll still just play it safe and just try to go for it off of the first one. Leave the last card in hand, just in case they somehow have like a consign to memory. I don't know if that's something they would have, but we're going to go ahead and try anyways. Whoops, not cast. Because we can cycle this. Cycle this. This gets us to the, whatchamacallit, the Cavern of Souls, which we'll put on Merfolk. And then if this trigger gets consigned, we can go for it again next turn, assuming that they don't have the win themselves. Okay, they're impulsing. That's fine, I guess. And they don't have it. Okay, we got there. On to game 3 now. I honestly don't think we want to change anything. Maybe bring in Brazen Borrower to be able to, like, bounce the Thought Lash or something. If we bring in Brazen Borrower, what do we want to take out? Maybe take out... Maybe the Surgical is too cute. Maybe take out one Tameo? Let's try something like that. Normally, if we're going into a game 3, I would probably actually board out the Doomsday combo, but since we're up against an opposing combo deck, I don't think the creature beatdown is actually going to work. So, unfortunately, speed is on our side, and boarding strictly into the tempo plan just does not work. So this is a lot of selection and some decent interaction. Hone is starting on 7. This is some selection. They have a relatively slower deck. This can get rid of a Malevolent Hermit, or if they go onto some kind of creature plan, this also theoretically has ways to get through a incomplete Thoracle pile. I think we're going to give it a shot. We have a lot of selection here. It's just going to be a question of, do we want to ponder on turn 1, or are we going to leave with the polluted delta and get a surveil land? I guess a large part of it's going to be, what do we draw here? Opponent just plays an island and appears to be passing. So we're not doing anything too... Okay, we drew a Force of Will, so I think we're going to go ahead and ponder to start. Since we do have counter magic now, I feel a little bit more okay tapping out. Brainstorm, Edge of Autumn, Misty. I think we're going to go ahead and do this. Take the Brainstorm so we can Brainstorm and shuffle next turn. This also gives us something that we could chuck to Force of Will. Alright, opponent plays a Petal. Are they going to try to turbo something out here? I think if they try to turbo something out, well, it looks like they're trying to. Depending on what they try to play here. Okay, so Paradigm Shift is... So, they think they have the win. Do we want to try to get them is the question. How much counter magic do they have? Their library is going to be empty, so these aren't going to work if... yeah, we're going to try to counter this. Because unfortunately, their library is going to be empty, so these aren't going to work to kill a Thoracle. Okay. I can't pay for it. Now they might, because they're going to have 2 cards. So if they just try to go for it next turn, these are now live. Depending on how much counter magic they have in hand. So unfortunately, I think this is probably going to be a situation where, well, we can Fatal Push, we can Brainstorm to try to find something. But this doesn't play around a Daze is the problem. I think we pass. And if they just try to play a Thassa's Oracle, well, let's see what's still left in, like, let's count here. Ooh, they brought in Force Negations, but those are going to be off. 1 Force, 2, they might have 2 Force of Wills in hand. That's not good. Because I only see 2 in this pile unless I'm missing something. So they might just have it. I guess we're going to see. Like, we're going to try to Fatal Push it if they go for it with an incomplete pile. Like, if they just try to slam it here, they have to have another land. Otherwise, this all makes no sense. Why would they go for it without lands? Alright, they have a Petal. So if Thoracle is in hand, they can't possibly have 2 Force of Wills. Okay, and this is an incomplete pile. I go for it with this on the stack. so I can play around Daze if that's what they drew. But their hand might just be like double Force of Will Daze, in which case this really sucks. I mean, we're gonna see if this works. Like, I'm very much expecting this to get forced. Alright, there's the force. Pitching a Force of Negation. Is the last card Daze? We have another draw, but we know what we're drawing. Yeah, they got it. Good game, opponent. Good game. That was super, super close. Alright, round 3. 1 that I roll. Gigantha. That makes me think this might be an energy strategy. We'll go ahead and keep this. It means we don't have to worry about Force of Will on turn 1, which is nice. So I think we will go ahead and just start out with Tamiyo here. I'm a little concerned about Wasteland, so I think I am going to just grab the Underground Sea for now. We can flip Tamiyo next turn, and if we need the colored mana for Frog, we can put the Cavern on Frogs. Also, I just really want to point out, like, I absolutely adore this art for Cavern of Souls. Like, the neon and the, like, Aztec look of everything is fantastic. Okay, some kind of land strategy. That's interesting. That is definitely not what I was expecting. Okay, so I think we go ahead and get in with Tamiyo, flip it, uptick it, and plan on dropping a Frog next turn. We have the shuffle for this Brainstorm now, which is nice. Or we can just play Frog now. I don't hate that. Let's put Thassa's Oracle back. This also kind of sets us up for a Doomsday as well if we want to go that route. I don't think we need to worry about counter magic, so we can probably put the Cavern of Souls back. Flip Tamiyo over. I think we are just going to go ahead and play Frog. We kind of have our mana under us for the most part here. This also allows us to get set up, so in a few more turns, we can either try to get the Frog win if we don't think that they have Swords of Plowshares, or we also can basically gain almost unlimited mana at that point too. Or we can wait a few turns, and this sets us up to be able to go off the turn that we Doomsday because we'll have a draw off of this. If they're in tune with the current deck list, like, the Lotus Petal should give away that we're Doomsday, but there are some people that are just doing, like, Turbo Frog Reanimator bullshit. So they don't know we're on Doomsday yet. I also can trade favorably in combat if I need to. Alright, so that can go... Okay, Vexing Bubble is fine. I don't think I'm going to be countering much right now anyways. This does allow me to trade favorably with Elvish Reclaimer if they want to attack with it for some reason. Oh yeah, I should have dropped the fetch land. That's my bad. I think we're good to attack with Frog here. With that being said, do I want to fetch out my Surveil land yet to set up this draw? It's probably not a bad idea, because if we can hit a if we can find a Dark Ritual off of this, we can just Doomsday now and pass the turn. So let's grab the Undercity Sewers, set up our draw. I actually don't hate Daze. We can hardcast it. Trying to think of what they're probably going to hold their mana up, though. I don't hate it. I think it doesn't stop a Swords to Plowshares, though, so I think we actually are going to bin it. Like, we could have hardcast it. We can get through an Endurance if they just hold up mana to do that. If they have a Mazavith, that's a little annoying. This also theoretically sets us up to be able to go off with Doomsday next turn. Oh, I should have jumped the Frog. I'm an idiot. It's fine. I think they're debating if they want to block here. No, they're just going to take it. We drew a Ponder. I don't hate that. Let's Ponder. Delta, Delta, Edge of Autumn. We don't want any of those. We'll shuffle. And no Brainstorm. Okay. So this should let us go off next turn, I believe. Depending on what happens here. I did uptick Tamiyo, right? Yes, I did. Depending on what happens here, too, we could get into a situation where we just, like, throw down, or we can downtick Tamiyo to go grab something. Because I don't think we're going to get to the point where Tamiyo is going to be able to ultimate, because they're probably going to go grab a Pithing Needle with this, if I had to take a guess. Also, with Brainstorm, we have a way to get our piles started. And we do have a decent amount of loyalty. We don't need a complete Doomsday pile. Oh, and we draw Street Wraith. Even better. We're going to uptick Tamiyo. We are also going to make sure that we jump the frog now. Misty, Lotus Petal, Polluted Delta. So we want to do this now because if we Doomsday, it makes it so that we can't jump the frog because our graveyard is going to go away. Alright, so for our Doomsday pile, so we need Thassa's Oracle, I believe we need Lion's Eye Diamond, and then just a handful of cyclers. So we need Thassa's Oracle, Lion's Eye Diamond, Street Wraith, Edge of Autumn. I think we're just going to take both Thoracles just to be safe. If something goes wrong this turn, we just go for it again next turn. Okay, so this is our pile. We want Thoracle, Edge of Autumn, Street Wraith, Lion's Eye Diamond. We get in, we draw the Lion's Eye Diamond, assuming they don't have a Swords to Plowshares, which they might. If they have a Swords to Plowshares, then we cycle with Street Wraith to get the Lion's Eye Diamond, play the Lion's Eye Diamond, brainstorm, pop the Lion's Eye Diamond in response. Okay, they're doing something. Okay, what are they doing? Are they grabbing a Mazavith? Oh shit, I actually can't play the Lion's Eye Diamond. I'm an idiot. I forgot about this Vexing Bauble. Shit. Okay, so this actually gets significantly more complicated. We have another turn we have to wait. Talon Gates of Madara, okay. So I'm not sure. I actually completely forgot about the Vexing Bauble. Okay, we passed the turn. We should be able to just go off next turn once we get the Lion's Eye Diamond out of the way. I actually completely forgot about that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure what they can do to screw us over here. Like, they're not in a position where they can instant speed Merit Lage. Okay, they are gonna crop rotate. I'm not sure what this gets, because I'm not sure how they can deal 8 damage in one turn. And if they pop this Vexing Bauble to get another draw, I think we're good. That's me in stage. Okay, that's actually fine, because like I said, they can't instant speed Merit Lage to kill me in the crackback. This is going to make their Elvish Reclaimer a 3-4, but 3-4 is not enough to kill me. Unless they somehow have a... If they have Merit Lage in hand, they might actually be able to go get the boots and haste it. Well, I guess, yeah, we could die here. Like, if they have the boots, they can grab the boots, Merit Lage, copy it, give it haste, because they'll have 1 mana left open. So it's basically just gotta hope that they don't have Dark Depths in hand. Okay, I like that a lot. That they're tapping out. That makes it so they can't Merit Lage now. I'm curious what land they're grabbing, though. Unless they randomly have soul lands, too. I mean, there's the Dark Depths. Do they randomly have soul lands somehow? Also, if this survives, we just downtick, we draw half of our deck, and we're good. Okay, no, they get Pithing Needles, so they don't... So I can't use this. Okay, yeah, so we can't downtick the Tamiyo. Though I'm not sure what they can do for 1 mana that can get them out of this. Like, they can crop rotate for something, but I don't think there's any land that gets them out of this. Because I believe this still counts as 1 loyalty because of the front side. I could be wrong, though. I'm honestly not super sure how the Flipwalkers work in terms of... Okay, an Elvish Reclaimer, that's fine. So they're tapped out. Okay, they have a Plains, never mind. They're not fully tapped out here. Like, I'm not sure how Tamiyo works in relation to loyalty. I don't know if it sees the front side or not. Okay, so we are going to cast Lion's Eye Diamond specifically to chuck it into the Void. We can chuck Cavern of Souls into the Void. We will jump the Frog. Alright, jump the Frog, get in. They could crop rotate away for another Talon Gates if they have one, but it doesn't look like they do. Okay, get our draw off a Frog. Hit a Street Wraith. Do I want to go 1 deeper with Brainstorm? Probably, just to be safe. Because I will draw the rest of the cards in my deck. Basically just put back both of the Thassa's Oracles. Or I can put back Edge of Autumn Thassa's Oracle. Yeah, just put back Edge of Autumn Thassa's Oracle. Cycle, cycle, and play a Thassa's Oracle? I'm not sure how they stop this for 1 mana. They don't. Okay. So we're up against Jengatha lands. That's interesting. What do I want to do here? Opposition Agent probably comes in. This is against activated, no, trigger or colorless spells. This can stop a Saga trigger. I don't know if that's really worth it. There's something to be said about bringing in Surgical Extraction as well if something goes to the graveyard and we can just get rid of it permanently. I think we want Brazen Borrower to be able to bounce a whatchamacallit. They could have Life from the Loam in this build, which would be a reason to bring in Surgical Extraction. Go for the Throat probably isn't terrible either. The question is just if I want to do that. I could also try to pull the Juke here and just board in all of the tempo stuff and just completely board out the Doomsday combo, which may or may not be a bad idea. Yeah, I think we're going to go for the Juke here. Give it a shot, see how it does. We're up a game, so let's just board out the combo in its entirety. We saw the, whatchamacallits, Vexing Bauble, so there's something to be said about maybe just bringing this stuff too and just take out all of our counter magic, but I kind of want the counter magic to stop the removal spells. We might just take out some of the cantrippy stuff. Let's try something like this. Okay, we got removal, we got counter magic, and we got a relatively fast Murktide Regent. I think we're going to keep this. Ooh, acceleration. So Mox Diamond definitely signals that they're going to have whatchamacallit. Do I want to just force this now and be done with it? I think I do. Like, we want to keep our counter magic online to be able to stop a removal spell. And it does mean that hopefully we can power out this Murktide Regent super fast. Okay, I like Brazen Borrower. We're just going to go ahead and play Misty and pass. We can hold up Fatal Push. And worse, if they don't do anything, we can go get a Surveil land, bin something else to be able to get this Murktide Regent. There's a good chance that they boarded out all of their removal, but they did see the frogs and shit, so they might have kept it in. I don't know, we'll see. Alright, they do have Life from the Loam. That's okay, I guess. I'm not super duper worried about that. I can play mostly on basics. They play a Wasteland. Okay, so they're going to go for this option here. I don't have to play anything out yet. Yeah, I think that's worth opening up a land to Wasteland here. And we'll see if this Barrowglaive can get there. This is also going to fuel the graveyard for the Murktide Regent. So we basically just have to dodge Swords to Plowshares is really all we need to worry about here. Because this Barrowglaive is going to outclass a lot of their shit real quick. Ooh, they did not Loam. Loam also makes me think that they had... Okay, they had the Swords to Plowshares. That sucks. It is what it is. I would like more lands. Okay, Ghost Quarter at least replaces the land. Alright, I don't like where we're at. Active Loam kind of scares me here. We have another Dark Ritual, which doesn't actually do anything. Disruptor Flu, okay. Well, I guess we have to do this. We'll go grab our basic so that they have to, whatchamacallit. It has to be Ghost Quarter to go after this, which turns this into a basic swamp, but then if they just loam Ghost Quarter back, I think we're just completely out of the game. The nice part is they're not really presenting a clock. Unfortunately, we took our Doomsday combo out, so we don't have the get out of jail free button of just... They named Thassa's Oracle. Well, that was a blank hit then. I was going to say, because we boarded the entire thing out, we actually might just value bounce this fucking Mox. Like, just for the value, we might bounce the Mox Opal. If they give us priority, we'll do that. They are loaming to get this shit back. Yeah, I think we're just out of this one. They're going to be able to Ghost Quarter this, and then we just have no lands for the rest of the game. So we're going to actually bring in the Surgicals this time, or the Surgical. And let's remove a Daze. Try something like that. Something we said about maybe I should have brought the Doomsday combo back in, but I think we're still going to try to go for the beatdown route. If this had a blue source, this would be great, but it doesn't, so we gotta ship it. Okay, I don't hate this at all. We can keep this. Let's bin... I think we're gonna bin the pedal for now. Alright, we're gonna start out with... We're just gonna play the Misty and pass for now. We will Instant Speed Brainstorm at the end of turn. And then we have the Ponder to be able to shuffle if we don't want the Brainstorm, and whatever it gets us. We also probably will just play out Frog next turn, depending on what happens here. Because if that eats a Swords, hopefully that's one less for Murktide Regent. And we should be able to power out this Murktide Regent pretty quickly. Okay. Chucks a Wasteland. Do they have the Loam to go with this shit already is the question. Since they're aggressively dumping lands, this makes me think they do have the Loam. They do. Okay, we're going to go ahead and see if we can counter the Loam and find our whatchamacallit here. We are going to grab the basic because we don't see whatchamacallit. Ghost Quarter. Lion's Eye Diamond, Consider. Cavern. Let's put back Diamond and Consider. So we'll see how much removal they have. We're going to go ahead and play this Cavern on Frog. Play the Cavern, name Frog. And just jam the Frog for now. We're fine with them wastelanding the Cavern. And we're going to see if we can ride this Frog and this Murktide Regent to victory. They are going to have some relatively large constructs, though, which is a little annoying. And they did not dredge the life from the Loam. Okay, there's the Wasteland that we knew about, which is actively helping us at this point. Because we don't actually care about that. I don't think we need to Consider, so we can probably chuck that. We're going to chuck the Lion's Eye Diamond because we don't need that either. And we are going to go ahead and jump the Frog. Or actually, if we grow this enough, then their construct isn't going to be able to deal with it anyways. So we're going to do this. We're going to give them the option if they want to trade. Or I guess they're just going to lose their whatchamacallit, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, they're just going to let me get in. I like that. And another... Ooh, I like that. They are going to be able to kill one of my lands, though, which is a little awkward. And we're going to need to refuel the graveyard pretty quickly to be able to get this other Murktide down. But could have been a bit bigger if I chucked the Ponder, but I want to hold on to the Ponder to be safe. They might get Needle to name Frog. We'll see if they tick down. Like, I do have a relatively fast clock here. They're very much debating if they want to dredge this life from the Loam right now. They're still in their draw step, and they're taking a while to think this over. Because what they could do is they could Loam. Okay, they did decide to Loam. Because what I'm thinking they could do is they could Loam to try to keep, like, a Saga train going. Ooh, they grabbed Vexing Bauble. Interesting. I think I just want to beat down as, like, fast as I can here. So I think what I'm going to do is... Especially if they blow up this Underground Sea, I will Ponder, probably chuck this redundant Murktide Regent, jump the Frog, get in for 8, or actually more, and just try to kill him over the course of maybe 2 turns here. They played Windswept Heath. That's interesting. Okay, they played an Elvish Reclaimer. So I'm guessing this means they're going to get a Talon Gates at one point, or they are trying to turbo... Okay, they're trying to turbo out whatchamacallit. Got it. Merit Lage. It's nice of them to leave me with both of my lands, though. Can I grow my creatures enough to be able to win through a Merit Lage is the question. Dark Ritual. Alright. Let's start out with the Ponder. I actually probably should have done this off of the Underground Sea, but whatever. Okay, Force of Will isn't bad. Actually, I really like Fatal Push. Yeah, I think... This is the order I want. Take the Fatal Push. Kill the Elvish Reclaimer. Whoops, wrong color. So we get rid of their tutor. Chuck the Dark Ritual. Jump the Frog. I actually did this wrong. I should have put that Force of Will up on top. But this also does grow the Murktide Regent, which that part is nice. Yeah, I shouldn't have put that land on top. I should have put the Force of Will on top. So I can stop whatever they theoretically could do here. Because now we're going to draw the land. But that depending on what they do, we can go fetch a surveil land to be able to jump the frog again, so we have two lethal threats coming in at them. Oh wait, the force of will wouldn't matter anyways because of X and Babel. Never mind, I'm an idiot. I keep forgetting that thing is there. So we're gonna want to go fetch a surveil land anyways, because that'll guarantee we have enough cards to be able to bin to jump the frog again. So we have two lethal threats coming in. And they scoop it up. Good games, opponent. Good games. On to the next one. Alright, so I'm an idiot. I didn't hit the record button for this round. So I'm going to walk you through it here before we go into the next round. So start off, winning the die roll up against the opponent. I think this hand is pretty decent. I'm kind of thinking like, at this point, I was thinking, okay, I can either drop Tamiyo turn 1, ponder turn 1, or I can try to flip Tamiyo on turn 2. I decide I'm going to see what our opponent's going on over here and see they're on Dimir tempo and realize, oh shit, I'm kind of fucked. I figure take the Thoughtseize. I'm going to try to find a way to work around the days. Tamiyo's not going to work because of Fatal Push. I just got to try to find a way through this at this point. So I take the Thoughtseize, pass the turn. Opponent does their thing, plays their Flooded Strand, goes and grabs a dual land, slams their Nethergoyf. They're going to start attacking me as quickly as possible. Like, it's turn 1 and their Nethergoyf's already at 3-4. Crack their Bauble targeting me so that they can draw a card, see what I'm drawing. They pass the turn, pass it back over to me. I got another Brainstorm. I got the fetch anyways. I Brainstorm, get rid of the two Thassa's Oracles and play a fetch land with the plan of just pitching them. So I already know I'm on the back foot here, just trying to figure out how I can get out of this situation. Opponent plays a land, cracks in, Brainstorms to grow their Goyf at instant speed. Shuffles their deck, grabs another Underground Sea, drops another Nethergoyf. I got 2-4-5 staring me down here, not looking very good. Go grab a Surveil land, trying to find something here. I decide Days might be able to save this Tamiyo if I decide to go that route. Then I decide I'm probably better off just trying to jam the Doomsday combo. So Brainstorm to find a Doomsday, try to set up for the next turn to be able to Doomsday and go off, because their creatures are going to kill me if I don't go off. They grab a Wasteland and shut me off on my route to do that. So I need to find a land off of this fetch to be able to even Doomsday. So I find the land, play the land, start doing the math here, and realize, wait, I can't actually combo here. Like, I can Doomsday and then I can Ponder, but the Ponder's only going to get me one card deeper. So it's either going to find me more cantrips or a source of mana, and I need both to be able to actually go off. So I end up scooping up the game, and we move on to game number 2. So going into game number 2, basically what I do sideboarding-wise is I bring in the Brazen Borrower and some more removal, and I take out some of my counter spells, hoping that I can control the board enough to be able to go off with my combo. So with that in mind, this hand is completely unkeepable. This hand is completely unkeepable, so it's already looking bad going down to 5. I have a theoretical route to a Doomsday here, so basically I just need a Ritual here. So I decided to Thoughtseize to see what my opponent's got going on over there. See, they have Consign and Daze, so now I have to think about how can I win through a Consign to memory. Opponent draws a Bloodstained Mire for turn, so I still have perfect information. Pass the turn. I draw a Daze, which isn't really doing anything. Emergency Cycle the Street Wraith to try to find more mana, which I do. Play the Lotus Petal, pass the turn. I'm, again, in a position where it's like, okay, I need to find a way to be able to go off with Doomsday and get around Consign. I figure the Daze might be able to work if the opponent doesn't leave up enough mana to be able to replicate the Consign to memory. So I'm kind of hoping that I can get lucky here. My draws are not exactly helping me. That shows me nothing, and I have to go ahead and shuffle it. I do hit a Dark Ritual, so I end up going and grabbing Doomsday, playing it, thinking, okay, I don't have a chance to sit back here. I just kind of got to go for it. And I'm thinking over this pile here. My logic with this pile was basically try to consider to get through my cards and eventually hit a Daze to try to back up against a single Consign to memory, because I know I'm going to have to chuck this Daze to the Lion's Eye Diamond. But if they leave up enough mana to replicate it, none of this is going to matter. So I agonize over how I'm going to make this pile. Basically, I did it so that I put Consider on top, some Cyclers, the Daze, and the Thassa's Oracle, hoping that I can get, maybe 2 turns out of this. But I also realize, like, I'm just straight up dead if they just leave open mana to be able to replicate. They also were able to grow their Nethergoy, so I don't get 2 turns to try to do this, which is realistically kind of what I needed here. So I just start going through my pile because I don't really have any choice other than that. Realize, yeah, I don't have a way to get past this daze anyways, and they have 2 mana left open, so they're going to be able to replicate the consignment memory and just get out tempoed. I mean, admittedly, this is the weaker frog shell. Tempo preys on combo, so I mean, it was an uphill battle the whole time, but opponent played it well. Some quick games, just not a good matchup, and I did not have good draws to be able to get me through it. On to the next one. Alright, final round. Positive record is on the line here. This is a turn 1 Doomsday. Unprotected, but since we're on the draw, we can kind of see what our opponent does before we try to do anything. If they are on an Ancient Tomb deck that just slams a turn 1 Chalice on 1, we are just basically out of this game. Also, as you could notice, the screen, green screen does not like it when it gets dark out, so being as it's winter now and it gets dark out a lot earlier, the green screen's not going to be happy. But anyways, I think we're going to go ahead and try to keep this. Just pray they don't Tomb Chalice on 1 on turn 1, and we're just out of the game instantly. Okay, Once Upon a Time is already not looking good for that. That is exclusively played currently in Stompy decks. Oh, ooh, Collector Oof. That's interesting. Okay. So the question becomes is, do we trust that we can just go ahead and pop off with a Doomsday here? I think we're just gonna go for it, like... So this might actually be like a Green Sun Zenith control deck. We need Thassa's Oracle. We need lands. They're probably gonna just slam this Collector Oof. So actually, we can put Force of Will on top. So we can include Lion's Eye Diamond, so we can Force of Will this Collector Oof. And then probably just Cycler, and then what? Consider? To get the pile started? So what does this pile look like? We put... Oh no, I need the Force of Will. Not the Consider. That's right, that's what I needed. Does this still work is the question. Because I lose the... It gives them 1 extra turn to try to get out of it. Because if I have to cycle for Force of Will, I lose this land, which doesn't allow me to be able to start the chain the way that I want to. But I think it's what I need to do. The other option I could have is Force of Will, land, Street Wraith, Thassa's... Okay, actually, I like that pile better. So we will Force of Will, land... Oh, this is annoying. Get rid of a Street Wraith. And then grab a fetch land. I think this does it. Because what we do is we put Force of Will on top, then the land... Yeah, because we can cycle into this, draw the land, fetch out the land, brainstorm, do our thing. Except I need a Thassa's Oracle. So I guess Street Wraith goes away, and we replace that with Thassa's Oracle. This is a confusing pile for sure. Okay, so this is Force of Will on top, land. We can cycle into Force of Will, we draw the land, which allows us... Or no, we need the Lion's Eye Diamond, then the land. God, this is confusing. Okay, we're just gonna go with it. There's a good chance that this is all getting shuffled anyways, so let's just go ahead and do Thassa's Oracle, Misty, Underground, Lion's Eye Diamond, Force of Will. Fuck it, we're going for it. Doomsday players yell at me. I'm sure that pile is incorrect, and there's a better one. We are hoping we don't have to cycle into the Force of Will, but if we have to, we have to. We'll see how quickly... We'll see if they think to play Collector Oof or if they think there's something better to play. Thalia. Do I care about Thalia? I don't think I do. Yeah, we'll let Thalia live. That's actually kind of fine. Like, that's actually probably the best thing that could have happened here. Because we can play through Thalia, no problem. Like, I think Thalia is the absolute least of my problems here. Like, a slow pile beats Thalia as well. Like, there is a world where a endurance can kind of mess with us. Knight of the Reliquary. Okay. This should be fine. Like, That's 7 damage right there. Do they have another fetch land is the question. So I think we just have to go for it here. Yeah, I think we just have to go for it. Pay the mana. Hope. Okay, stuff is just resolving. So at this point, we just go for it and hope that they aren't sandbagging a whatchamacallit, endurance. Oh no. Oh no. Shit. Wasn't the next card the, fetch land? Okay, I screwed that pile up royally. Okay. Okay, well, this is why I'm not a Doomsday player, because I totally screwed that pile up. Bring in Opposition Agent. I think we want to bring in Brazen Borrower. Let's bring in the Barrogoyfs. We can trim some of the combo, I think. I don't think Daze is going to be particularly relevant in this matchup, so we can probably cut that out. Maybe leave the other Thassa's Oracle in, just take out the other Daze. And let's try that. Okay, let's not screw up a pile again. We cannot keep this. I don't hate this. I think we're going to keep this. This is a turn 1 Doomsday. I don't think Tamiyo is going to be relevant here. So this is a turn 1 Doomsday. Or I can turn 1 Barrogoyf. Or I can try to set up a Doomsday to be able to all go off at once. I think we're just going to jam. Like, we're going to do the thing. We came here to do the thing. We're going to do the thing. Okay, so. Lion's Eye Diamond. Thassa's Oracle. Street Wraith. Alright, so what can they do on turn 1 that's going to completely screw us over here? If they Vex and Bobble, that can screw us. So I think I do want to put a land in here just to be safe. Do I want to put a land in here to be safe? Because what? Vex and Bobble just completely destroys us if they have it. Yeah, we're just going to put a land in here and hope for the best. Again, Doomsday players, feel free to scream at me for this one. So what we do is, if we untap with all of this, we do get to go 1 deeper with this Consider. So I think we want Lion's Eye Diamond. We also could just put the land on top, and that guarantees that we'll have mana to be able to Consider, which I think is the correct option here, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, Street Wraith, Diamond, Underground Sea? I think I might have done that wrong. I think I wanted the Diamond second from the bottom, but we'll see. We do have the Brainstorm to do things with as well if we need to. I'm just, like, irrationally afraid of a whatchamacallit. This also could be a Pyroblast, which if that's what happens, we kind of just die. Well, let's do this. Okay, they're gonna Red Blast that. Okay. So, what? The next card is LED. So I think we're just gonna wait. Question is, how many Red Elemental Blasts do they have? Okay. Noble Hierarch. A whatchamacallit is also mildly problematic. A, Endurance, if that's what they have. I mean, I guess we just go for it and see what the hell happens here. Like, we don't really have a choice otherwise. We can just put that into the graveyard. We know the next one is one of these. And I guess we're just going to see if they have a whatchamacallit. Do you have an Endurance? Another Red Elemental Blast? They got something. They had 2 Pyroblasts. Good game, opponent. Okay, I screwed up that pile game 1. That's 100% on me. Opponent just had double Pyroblast. I probably could have played a bit slower, but we're here to go fast. And, I mean, I really can't complain if a Frog deck ends up getting beat, because that stupid card needs to be banned. So I can't be too mad that we always put up a 2-3, but good game, opponent. I'll catch y'all on the wrap-up. Okay, so let me first start off by saying that last round was not great. I was playing fast. I was trying to finish the league out as quickly as possible. Something popped up that I had to deal with. So if I'd played slower and thought more, I probably would have had a better shot about it. So let's just discount that last round as not really indicative of this deck entirely. But that being said, it was fun to play. It was kind of ridiculous how much of a threat Frog and Tamiyo together actually are playing with them versus playing against them. Like, you heard me complain about Frog ever since it got printed, playing against it, but playing with it, I see just how ridiculously broken and powerful that card really is. It was also kind of cool that the Frog Tameo side of the deck kind of distracted our opponents to the point where we could pop off with a Doomsday after they spent all their resources dealing with the Frog side of things. We didn't get to do the whole ultimate Tameo, chuck the whole hand to Frog, but we set it up a few times. But we're able to either get the opponent to just scoop or able to sneak the Doomsday combo in with the threat of the Frog drawing their attention. It's also kind of nifty that the Frog itself can kind of jumpstart your Doomsday piles, which is honestly kind of busted. That card just does way too much for way too little, and I'm really hoping it eats a ban next week. But that being said, if you want to play a Doomsday deck, personally, I would just play a all-in Doomsday deck. The Frog side of this dilutes the combo enough that I feel like it detracts from the game plan and slows you down. Also, just me being me, I'm not a tempo player, so trying to figure out the balance between playing the tempo side of the deck and playing the Doomsday side of the deck was a bit rough for me. I'm also not a Doomsday player. These piles break my brain. You saw me agonize multiple times over what cards to put in the pile and then what order to put them in. And I did screw it up a few times, but that's just me not having a ton of experience with the archetype, and just the whole way that it plays just breaks my brain for the most part. It also was cool to have the full creature juke in the sideboard, and personally, if I were to play a Doomsday deck again, I would put all of the creature side of the deck in the sideboard and have it be a transformative sideboard entirely, and just have none of it in the main deck. The one problem I did run into, though, and I kind of went against my better judgment a few times, was with how fast the format is, a lot of times the creature beatdown just isn't going to be fast enough. And there were a few times where I just boarded it in for the sake of science and doing it to try to juke the opponent out, hoping that they went for a more controlling route instead of trying to jam their own combos and go fast. But overall, I think right now, with how ridiculously fast the format is, that just trying to go the tempo beatdown route against most of the format just isn't going to be fast enough. But that's just my personal experience and my personal opinion and all that. But the deck was a blast to play. Got to see some fun lines, got to do some crazy stuff. I can finally say from both sides of the table that Frog is busted. It needs to go. But yeah, I hope you all had fun watching this. I will catch you all in the next one. And as always, stay salty. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you like what you saw. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like and sub button below. There are free ways to support the channel. And drop a comment, let me know what you like. Any kind of feedback you got, your opinions on my gameplay, the decks that I play, any of that kind of stuff. If you really like what you see, go ahead and drop by the Patreon. Become a patron, get to read some of my tournament reports and some stuff going on outside of just Magic in my life that I'm going to start putting over there as kind of my own personal blog. Also, you can do donation deck lists over there, just the price of a league if you have a specific deck you want to see, or you have an idea you want me to brew around, something like that. Go ahead and do that. Nothing is required. It's always appreciated, though. Any donations go directly back into the channel, covering stuff such as leagues for donation decks or the rental program that I'm a part of. I am a small-time YouTuber. I'm doing this for fun. I really hope you all like what you saw. I truly appreciate you all stopping by. I will catch you all in the next video, and as always, stay salty.